Grassroots Sessions. Checkmate with ethics, stay home, save lives, remove your right to roam, means no one dies. Wartime rhetorics, protect and defend, invisible enemy, when will this end? No one can gather, speak face to face, share heart to heart, synchronize pace, low herd immunity, economic crash, vaccine investments, supermarket dash, till death is a breath away. Death is a breath away. Alive, your vaccine awaits. If you survive, he'll give you a job. But first, let's copyright God. Hey!
Thank you so much for tuning into today's Grassroots session. We hope you enjoyed that song. We'd just like to say a massive thank you to our amazing patrons for supporting this channel. If you'd like to become a patron, please check out the link below. Please share this video.
And also, if you enjoyed this video, please pop a quid in our virtual hat via the PayPal link below. Thank you so much to everyone who has been making donations. They've been helping us so much through this difficult time when we aren't allowed to gig because of the lockdowns and restrictions. And yeah, I guess it goes without saying that this song explores that very concept. At the core of what's happening now with lockdowns is the notion that we are all doing this to protect the vulnerable, and you know, we're not going to argue with that. We understand that.
Everyone wants to protect the vulnerable.
And as much as we agree with protecting the vulnerable, we also have a lot of distrust in the narrative, you know, because on the one hand it's protect the vulnerable from COVID, but on the other hand we have extreme poverty, inequality, starvation. They all exist in this world as a result of our governments and the decisions they have made on behalf of capitalism and conglomerates, and you know, the global farming industry. They all wreak havoc on countries, keeping them in poverty when they should be abundant. And then places like the UK, there's extreme poverty there, there's extreme homelessness, there's over 1 million empty houses. There's also loads of beautiful beings who want to change this. From what we can see, the past decade has been full of all sorts of incredible protests against inequality.
You know, they justified this lockdown in the very beginning by saying it's just for a few weeks, just to not overwhelm the NHS. And the reason the NHS would have been overwhelmed is because it's not been funded properly. I really do love that song, and I think one of the lyrics that I like is what is it? When you arrive, pay bill at the gates. I think that's quite funny.
A little bit of wordplay there.
You know, whoever patents and distributes a vaccine for this illness is set to make just obscene amounts of money when you think they're gonna want to give it to apparently the entire population of the globe. they stand to profit so much. So of course we're going to question the motives behind these people. Of course we're going to question medical industries when it wasn't that long ago that they gave a morning sickness drug to pregnant women. The drug was called thalidomide. They gave it to pregnant women, said it was tested and safe, and it caused thousands of children to be born deformed. Why now would we not question a vaccine that's been said they don't know the effects on fertility, they've never tested it on pregnant women? Now they're saying, yeah, go and have it if you're pregnant because it's probably okay because the animals we tested it on were fine. Well, we remember thalidomide, and we remember to question these giant entities that are pushing things for profit. If the vaccine was being funded by our taxpayers' money and we were creating it as a community to help, then great, it would eliminate this profit motive. And you know, I think it's just important to remember that those questioning it, they're not necessarily anti-vaccine or anti-science. We're pro creating things that benefit everyone and not creating things for a profit motive.
We're trying to see some of the positives in the shift in society right now. Like for us, it would be incredible to see society open back up as a predominantly vegan place, because that would mean the billions of animals that are suffering for unnecessary reasons would stop. That would diminish.
And it's important what you say there about factory farmed animals, because if you think about the way that they're trying to keep us all socially distant from each other, because that's how disease is spread. When you look at the way these factory farmed animals are being bred, there's hundreds of thousands of them being crammed into tiny spaces. They have, like, most of the world's antibiotics are given to these animals, which creates huge antibiotic resistance in the people that are then eating those animals, which is a terrible situation that humans could find themselves in. And so are we going to continue farming animals on that mass intense scale, or are we going to think of more intelligent ways of feeding the world?
Some of the leading thinkers and scientists are acknowledging that these pandemics are coming from animal agriculture on the whole. You know,
there's bird flu, there's swine flu, there's all these what they call
Ebola,
zoonotic diseases, even measles. Even measles came from cows being kept in cramped conditions. That all these illnesses that we need these vaccines for.
And we've been lied to. They put a fancy package on the front of a piece of animal's flesh that looks like a cow wandering beneath the beautiful sky with its child. It's not like that. There's billions of animals a year being slaughtered, and they're in a conveyor belt system, and they can hear the hundreds of them in one slaughterhouse dying, which is making the NHS overwhelmed with people with heart disease and other injuries caused by obesity and clogged arteries, and then it's also causing pandemics. It's like, society was going to go through a big shift. We feel a lot of inequality from this shift, and as do we all, but we hope that we don't want it back to normal. We all want progress. Like, everyone wants that. We all want, people look for progress in the technology we're using. Phones in 10 years are going to be incredible, but our ethics in 10 years is going to be incredible. Like, just you wait, it's going to be immense. And people like William Gates, they're not going to be able to deny the empathy and compassion that he's going to have to exercise when he reaches £1 trillion or whatever.
He's got his fingers in all them pies with these fake meats as well, hasn't he? Because he knows that that's the future, and the way that it's going is people aren't going to want to fund this treatment of animals anymore. But I don't think that fake meat stuff's the way either, because we want to be eating whole food, plant-based, the only diet that's ever been proven to reverse heart disease. We don't want to be eating these fake meats. Even if you're going to recreate meat in a laboratory with all the same cells and muscles, then you're in the situation where you're eating the same stuff that's causing the colorectal cancer. Like, there wouldn't be an ethical issue with terms of animal rights, but maybe an ethical issue with what you're putting in your own body. It's definitely a step in the right direction.
We're here to give the animals and nature the respect and dignity they deserve, and we're here to tend this beautiful garden. Like, everything we eat that gives us the beautiful abundance of nutrition can be found in plants, and plants grow. They root the ground and they hold together they stop landslides from happening, and they help us breathe. Trees help us breathe. Like, we can't
leave
breathe
them alone, please. What more could they do for us? It's chopping them down at an unprecedented rate.
We really hope that at the least this is going to bring you some joy right now, and will not make you feel alone with your own questions.
We think there's definitely a silent majority of people who are too afraid to speak out about how they feel about these lockdowns, because they get jumped on and attacked and get called selfish, and they get told that their words are killing people. And I think
we've
that
been told that.
we'll probably get that comment for this video. But I'm sorry to say, our words are not killing people.
No.
People die every day. People are always died, and they always will. And we're all temporary. Every one of us is going to die, and we are allowed our opinion. and you're allowed yours, and as long as we treat each other with kindness, dignity and respect, then that is a wonderful thing. So write your opinions in the comments below please,
and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Yes. And thank you so much for tuning into our video today, guys. We hope that you enjoyed it. And thank you again to our amazing patrons for making these videos possible.
We couldn't do it without you. Thank you, beautiful beings.
Please do check out the Patreon link below, and pop a quid in our hat if you can. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.
Grassroots Sessions is made possible by our wonderful patrons who support us on Patreon. Thank you so much to all of you beautiful beings.
Please join our Patreon today to help us create more videos. Donations are also very welcome here.